Yeah.
I can certainly learn quick as I can.
So my teachers are sent out the syllabuses for like a bunch of the classes already, and they're like, yeah, we're doing this, this, and this. I was like, for my sound design class, we were doing like, he said like, we're going to do like sound design for like film, animation, and like podcasting. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Podcasting, that's what I do. Look, Charlie, that's me.
Oh, Davis, it's you.
Look, Davis.
You're one step ahead of the game, brother.
I know. With shotgun mics and high quality interfaces. Christ. Oh.
Hopefully it's worth it.
It's episode 24. This is episode 24. Unbelievable.
Who would have thought?
We'd be here for 24 episodes.
What's crazy to me is someone's been listening to us for 24
I know.
episodes.
When I look at the stats, I'm like, Christ, people actually listen to us?
I'm like, in all the crazy ramblings that we do, unbelievable.
I mean, we have like a targeted audience of like knowing who we want to like appeal to, but like, yeah.
Mainly faint in One Piece fans.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Not gonna lie, you're not wrong. So let's start off with your week, Charlie. How have you been?
Well, the Daily Charlie Week Report. I'm doing good. It's been busy. So I just started up my second semester of my third year in college. So woo! Yay! Ended off last semester with 5 A's, not to brag. But it worked out great. Now starting up this second semester, this definitely feels like third year because all the teachers are really fucking hard. And it's definitely interesting because to give you an example of how the week went, one of the classes I have is called fantasy. And I signed up, was like, oh, this sounds fun. This sounds really good. And the long and short of it, I get on the class. Teacher's like, great. So you guys have already read both versions of Cinderella, Arabian Nights, and this other fourth thing that I'd never heard of in my life. And like all this was supposed to be read and done before class, before the first class. Meanwhile, I've been doing other stuff, and I didn't even know. Like I was never notified or anything.
Really?
So of course, well, because Canvas, the thing I use, Canvas doesn't like really give you a notification unless you like, I don't know, it's weird. And so I'm like, okay, great. So I immediately start reading all this stuff as the class is going, just so I can make sure. And of course, because I knew my name is like alphabetically, it's like
you're top.
so because she was talking about, okay, so we're gonna like basically, I'm gonna ask you guys questions each about the story and what you thought of it. And I'm like halfway through it, and she's like, Charles, what did you think? I'm like, well, I thought, and everything was fresh in my mind, and I just like I just basically summarized the plot of the first like 3 pages, and she was like, oh my god, that's great. You did so much better than most other people did.
Wow! What? No!
I'm like, yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mute myself. I'm like, I am a fucking god.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Dude. And like, dude, I could tell so many other people didn't read it. Like, you could like, oh yeah. They were like, oh yeah, it's cool. And I'm like, guys, it's right there. Just open the link. Read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there were some people who were
at least they applied, like, they gave you the reading materials. You don't have to buy them yourself. Okay?
I was super
That's one of the
lucky.
things I get pissed off about when teachers do that. It's like, yeah, you need to go find this book in the library. I'm like, no thank you. I'm just gonna look for the PDF online.
Yeah, and download
email it to you so you have it for next time.
Yes, and it's so much easier, and it's just having it right there was so convenient. Literally saved my ass. And I'm so glad I was there. But yeah, I mean, the class went by fine. Every time, that's basically how the class went. I was reading the material
as you went along.
As we were covering it. So whenever she talked about it, I was like, oh, I know that.
Control F, Google these key phrases right here and look for it.
I just read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it went good for what it was. So, you know, and that was basically kind of the summary of how this whole week went. It's like, teacher would say like, oh, you already did this before the class began, and I would be like, what? And I'd look on the Canvas site and I'd see that there were like 2 assignments that you had to do beforehand, and I did them as the class started.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You're the kid who does the submit like 2 minutes before class begins.
Yeah, no. Well, it was like, you know, I usually don't, but I really like I didn't expect everything to be like starting like before the first class, but that's just because I'm naive.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's pretty much how that week went. plenty of stress, but we got through it, thank God. How was your week, Davis?
Mine was pretty easy. Hasn't started school yet. I start school next Tuesday. Already dropped some work hours. Not working from 15 hours a week.
Nah.
3 days. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I reorganized my bookshelf, actually. I reorganized it so I fit my PlayStation and my Switch into the middle console one when it has a wall backed out. So, like, it has for the cords, because, like, I hated it having above there.
Yeah.
But the problem, anytime I pull my Switch out, right, I actually turn on the PlayStation.
Oh.
Just because the power button's located on top.
Yeah.
And when I pull it out, my hand hits it by accident.
So you might want to divide it with the Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I should put it in there, but like, if I do that, like, if I want to read the Dragon Ball, like, complete artworks, right, I can't. I have to slightly pull it out, and it's gonna be different. But like, yeah, maybe I'll put the games. I'll put the games between them.
Or with the games with that, and like put.
The bento box.
Then, as long as you're just not touching it, like as long as.
Yeah, I should do some spacing, but I do think I need a new bookshelf, one for gaming, and then one large one behind here for like other shit.
Yeah, I actually got a new shelf. I forgot to mention that on.
Your room could use a little bit of furnishings.
I did get a new shelf, and I just moved all the books and everything to that one, and it's like a bit smaller. It's about like, I would say like the third level. Like it's
it's like an IKEA thing with the boxes. Yeah.
It was super easy to assemble. And I was like, okay, that's great. And
that's
cleared up a lot of space.
For a lot of the shit IKEA gets, IKEA furniture is not that hard to assemble.
No, it isn't. It really, you just gotta follow the directions.
I really do think that people who say like, oh, IKEA furniture sucks, that's probably just from a comfort level, but like as like a putting together, it's fairly easy.
Yeah, no, it's once you it's some directions could be a little confusing, but once you like get this is what they mean, then it's like okay, got it.
Yeah, but I guess we could go over the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Yeah,
the video game awards for worst people.
I didn't see
for degenerates as they say.
Every category, but the category.
Well, I have it pulled up on my laptop right now, and
okay, cool.
I guess we'll start off with. You know what? Let's go bottom upward. So we'll move our way from.
Because they start off with
they start off with best anime for no fucking reason at all.
That's weird.
And I hate when people do that. It's like they don't build up to anything.
Yeah. At least Game Awards gets that right.
So nominees for best fantasy: Re:Zero, starting in a Life in Another World, season 2, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, Decadence, Ascendance of Bookworm Part 2, Tower of a God, and Dorohedoro.
Ascendance of a Bookworm.
That's pretty good. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm giving it that.
I'll say Dragon Quest and Tower of God are god trash. They're trash. They're absolute.
Tower of God.
It's trash. The web manga or whatever the web comic is way better. Don't watch the anime.
Yeah. The anime is more consistent in the visual style. I will say that, but the Tower of God like webtoon, like how it looks is a little rough at the beginning, but it gets way better as you go on.
Dorohedoro, I didn't like personally because of the 3D elements. Because it just doesn't look good.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was interesting, and it was a new turn, and I didn't mind it as much. But the story was just so fucking bonkers. It's
kind of hard if you don't have the attention span to like go between like two different story plots simultaneously and have them meet up together, not knowing what happened.
Yeah, and the world's like super interesting, but like if you read it, it just gets weirder and weirder.
It gets weird,
and everything starts to go like it almost feels like everything collapses on itself, and it's just like what is happening? But yeah, I mean, from a visual standpoint, I liked it a lot, but I would have to give it to a sense of a bookworm.
Yeah, Re:Zero wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. It's one of those like more like in-depth isekai kind of thing. So it's like it's not completely like degenerate trash, but like the fan base makes it sort of like that.
Oh my god!
But I have to go with Decadence, which is produced by Studio Nut, and pretty sure it's original animation too.
Me and my teenage mind. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's there's no manga, so it's definitely original anime. Yeah, it's an original anime, Decadence.
Okay.
And I gotta say, it's for like I will watch the first episode if we have time, but like I'll definitely show you like this is probably like, really the standard of like what like original anime should be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ascendance of Bookworm is still pretty good with what to do with a certain like property or like adaptation.
Yeah, I mean they do a great job. I mean I love the little inserts that they've done. Like for instance, when she talks to herself, and they got a little chibi version of her doing that. I was like, that's cute. That's a nice little insert.
The next category is Best Couple.
Okay.
So we have Nasa Yuzaki and Tsukasa from Tonikawa Over the Moon for You. Kaguya Love is War. Kototo and Kuro from Inspector. Legoshi and Haru from Beastars, Katarina and Maria from My Next Life as a Villainess, and Shizuzu and Kazuya from Rent a Girlfriend. I'm gonna say Rent a Girlfriend is low tier just because the main protagonist is trash. I don't like him. I don't think anyone else likes him.
I never saw it, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it. For me, I'm debating right now, Beastars or Kaguya-sama. One of the two. That's for me.
I've watched all these, and I'll say this: the lowest ones are probably the Inspector, Villainess, and Rent a Girlfriend. I think the ones that actually stand a chance is probably the popular choice, which is Kaguya, just because it's more well known. But I do think, just from me reading the manga, the Tanooki is just way better, just like having like a better sense of humor.
Yeah, I would give it that. Yeah, and it's more focused on a love story because Beastars is like a lot of things.
Beastars is a lot of things. I'll say that it's like action, like
it's action,
it's
drama.
It's like a soap opera, basically.
Yeah.
It basically is a soap opera in certain points.
So different, but it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would give it to Kaguya-sama, yeah, because it's just very funny and it knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Okay, best music score.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so Kevin Penkin, Tower of God, Yutaka Yamada for Great Pretender, good show. Satoru Kosaki, Beastars, Oru Taichi from Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, Elisa Okahazama from The God of High School, and Kensuke Ushio from Japan Sings 2020. I'll say this: music is probably one of those things where it's very subjective, not from like a standard thing to say. Because like with music, it's what you like and how well it fits. I do think that because it's a score and not the opening, so these are the people who made all the soundtrack music. I do think Kevin Bacon's pretty good, but I don't think Tower of God had the greatest music. I really do like Great Pretender's soundtrack, though, just because it has, like, a wide variety of music. Just because of, like, how it's structured, like, because it basically is, like, a scammer going from Japan to LA to, like, and becoming this huge, like, kind of,
I love it.
Worldwide kind of thief.
When I heard the concept of it, I was so in. I just haven't found the time to watch it.
It's good. I enjoyed it.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, I'll totally watch it this weekend. I'm like, and then
it's on Netflix, so it's one of those things.
It's right there, but I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken was pretty good, soundtrack-wise, but I do think it lacked in certain parts. They've definitely really saved it for, like, the big emotional scenes. I've saw pieces and bits of Japan Sings, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I couldn't get behind the art style.
Oh, the thin line? Or what was it?
I don't remember. Like, the art style is kind of like a mixture between, like, Flash, I think. Because it's the same guy who did,
Devilman Crybaby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he uses Flash, like, religiously, and I don't like that style sometimes with certain...
It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah.
Beastars had pretty good music, and I do think the Crunchyroll originals are kind of trash.
Yeah, no. I would give it to Beastars probably. Because that's the only one that I really know and I've watched.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the other ones have good ones too. But I still haven't watched Tower of God, and I don't think I ever plan to.
No, I would not bother. I would not bother at this point.
I've already read it, so I know already what happens. I haven't read all of it. I've been going back and forth with it so long. I'm like, I always read like another 5 chapters of it, and I'm like, okay, time to take another like year break. All
right, now, so you chose Beastars, and I'm choosing The Great Pretender. All right, this is something we could do, though. Best comedy.
Oh, okay.
So we have Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, Kaguya-sama, My Next Life as Villainess, Sleeping Princess of the Demon Castle, Kakushi Goto, and The Misfits of the Demon Academy, History of the Strongest Demon King Reincarnates to Goes to School
I need
with
to watch that
Descendants.
one. I need to watch that one.
It's absolutely fucking insane. Okay. For as long as that title is, it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, just because... I don't want to compare it to One Punch Man because it's not One Punch Man. Like power levels, it is, but like he just kind of fools around with his power levels and trying to unravel a mystery, and from my point of view.
Okay.
So it's not really the best sort of comedy at certain points.
Okay.
If we're going with like strong comedy, I would say
Princess and the
Princess or Kaguya, just
I'm
because
giving it to Princess.
Princess Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle is one of those top tier, just like
so good.
absolute well done.
Its
pieces
production
of
value
animation.
is really well
It's
done.
really well done for what it's worth. Even though like Keep Your Hands Off Isaac Ken was like original kind of thing, I do think it kind of resonates more with Sleepy Princess and Demon Castle to be more comedic, because Keep Your Hands Off Isaac Ken is more than just comedy.
Yeah.
Rather than Sleepy Princess or Kaguya, because like they're both rom-com. Like Kaguya's a rom-com, but Sleepy Princess does the comedy so well. It's just that anyone who watches it will enjoy it.
Yes, it nails it so hard. It's so good.
Yeah. Kakashi Goto is not bad per se. It's just that the comedy is kind of like this little like segue bits to certain places, because in the overall story of it, it's kind of really sad. But the comedy's really well done, and you kind of forget about the sadness, and that's why I don't think I would vote for it.
Right. It just because the tone doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're kind of like two different tones. Like you have the future plot, and you have the past plot, which is like kind of the shtick of it. But like as a
past plot was positive, I take it.
Yeah, and like he's younger.
Future always sucks. That's how it always is. Especially in anime, it's like, oh, you could become a grown up. Everything fucking sucks.
Next category is best drama.
Ooh, okay.
Fruits Basket Season 2, Great Pretender, Japan Sinks, Sing Yesterday for me, Beastars, Somali, and The Forest Spirit.
Beastars.
I don't think Somali would be I don't think that's really much of a drama. I think it's more of like a fantasy / comedy. There's some drama bits, but it's not a lot.
Is that the one where there's a giant hole?
Yeah. No. That's Made in Abyss.
Oh, never mind.
Or Tales of Abyss, whatever.
Because that reminded me of like a Studio Ghibli film.
Somali and the Forest Spirit. It's the one with Joto's voice actor Daisuke as like the golem guy.
Oh, that one.
That one, yeah, with the small little girl.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I mean, I like the concept of that show, but I don't think
as a drama, it's not like really selling the point.
No, it feels more like something like Mandalorian kind of, where it's this like
spaghetti westernish kind of like town to town slice of life kind of thing.
Wolf and Cub kind of thing. Yeah.
Great Pretender, I would say that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah.
Overall.
That and Beastars.
Yeah, Beastars is definitely one of the higher ticks. Japan Sinks, I guess it's a drama just because of what it's doing. Yeah. Sing Yesterday to Me was a good like kind of drama just because it's like in tune. It's like high end. It's more relatable in a certain point. Yeah. But
the reason I would give it to Beastars is because from the outset, it doesn't really look like it would be that much big of a drama, but then you watch the intro and then you see like how the characters react to each other and how the world works. It's very much like, oh, okay. And that's kind of like how this whole show is. Like, it's a very much like a surprise. It's a fun surprise that you don't realize until you watch it. It's like, ooh, it's really good.
Yeah. I'll say Great Pretender. It's not like the most like greatest drama, but it has drama inside of it.
I still didn't fucking watch it.
I'll give it to Beastars, because Beastars has a lot of drama with what it's got.
Yeah.
I think Fruits Basket's gonna get shafted in this one just because like what the kind of comedy it does so much with the characters that it's kind of hard to like kind of describe what it is, and that's what like a lot of people are gonna say like, yeah, Fruits Basket is really good, but it's not really the greatest drama per se.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't hit you.
Yeah, at certain points it will hit you, but like inside of drama, it's supposed to make you keep watching and kind of like do that. But I don't think Street Pass does that.
What will happen?
Best fight scene.
Okay.
Nominees are Gojo versus Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, Jin Mori versus Jigai Tech, Broccoli versus Dark God Vecta from Sword Art Online, Deku versus Overhaul in Season 4 My Hero, Jin versus Han inside God of High School, and Brawler versus Master in Akuma Dive. I didn't watch Akuma Dive, so I can't say anything, but I did watch the Broccoli. You definitely watched Jujutsu Kaisen, so you.
I absolutely did.
It's one of those things where it's like consistent wise, I would say Sword Art Online does a lot consistently.
Yeah.
And with the fight scenes, it's very consistent, like how they're stylized and certain things. It feels very compiled correctly.
I don't know if I'd give it to Jujutsu Kaisen because
no, because it's just such a new show, and like the way it goes.
It's short. The fight between Sukuna and Gojo is very.
It's very short. I don't know.
All that happens is Sukuna goes in, and then like Gojo kind of dodges a bit, and then punches him once, and that's it. And that's the whole.
It's
fight.
not the greatest fight.
If it was the fight between Yuji and Mahito, I would totally
Yes,
give
I
it.
do
I
think-
would totally give
yeah.
it that. But if it's the fight between Gojo and Sukuna, no.
Deku versus Overhaul is really good. I'll say that. It's just they amp up the animation quality. That's like kind of left for wanting more.
I heard that the fight with forgot his name, Pip Boy, forgot it.
Oh, Tintin,
Yeah, Tintin.
Lemillion.
Lemillion. I heard that his fight got kind of gypped in that.
They did get chipped in that part, and I do kind of blame like the Bones for like being like, yeah, you kind of need to sort of like strain away from this part to focus on this part because it goes really hard. But like I do kind of think consistency is probably the best thing that it's probably for me.
Yeah.
And I do think that Sword Art Online does that, but I could be wrong. It's subjective. It's art. It's subjective.
I mean, from Bones alone, I guess I'd give it to My Hero for now. But I mean, I still I'd have to watch the Sword Art Online one because reading what happened in My Hero for that. It was super hype. Yeah. It was super great. So, yeah, I give it to My Hero.
Okay, you gave it to My Hero,
and just because like
I gotta show you the layouts and like the Genga from Sword Art Online too because it's absolutely beautiful. Just the amount of like work the animators went towards to keep it consistent as well as make it awesome. It's just super well done.
Yeah. And to the Jujutsu Kaisen fans, I'm sorry. But it's just, it wasn't, like, it's not to say that fights are determined by length, but it's just, like, what happened in the fight.
It's more of a choreography kind of thing with it.
There was a cool shot with, when Gojo punched Sukuna. That was really cool, and there was some really interesting bits, but it was just, no. I mean, compared to other stuff, like, the fight between Deku and Overhaul,
it's just like,
way more built up, and this one was, like, oh, they just met for the first time, and it's like, that's it.
Best character design. Let's go.
All right.
Naoki Asano for original designs for Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken. Yoshiki Yuki and Hirotaka for Great Pretender. Okay. Mayuka Ito for Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Genis Chan and Yusuke, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yoshigake for Brand New Animal. Masahi Kodo and Miho Tsunana for Tower of God, and Yumiko Takahashi and Yoshihito Numa for Yasuhime Princess Half Demon. Okay, so if you're going to judge this by just like character designs overall, I'll say Brand New Animal, Great Pretender, and Aizoken are probably the top three just because they're original designs. Yeah. They're not necessarily based off the manga or based off another art style. And I do think that's what Tower of God and everyone else in this category kind of fails at is because they're trying to transfer the manga art style into an animation art style. Yeah. And they don't do too much with it. It looks good. I don't disagree with the fact that all these shows look good and they're all stylized in a certain way. It's that when you do character design, when you work off like for original designs, and not basically like sort of a style from like a past work, it kind of like makes it overall better. And I do think that Brand New Animal and Great Pretender has good designs, and even Aizoken has good designs for character motion. And that's why I think that should be happening. Is that even though it might be a little plain coloring or whatever design wise, it's however you animate the character is how you should do it.
I would also like to point out that for BNA, there are a human version and animal version of every single character.
That is true.
So they have two versions of a character. So I would give it to BNA just for that. Because, the amount of times they have to fucking change forms. Like the weasel chick was like, oh, what the fuck?
I'll also say this, that Great Pretender has pretty good clothing design. I do like the clothing design in that, but overall, I do think Brand New Animal has it pretty much locked down.
Yeah. I gotta watch Great Pretender, dude. But
it's good. You should watch it.
I love those things. I love like the Sting. I like the Sting a lot, and this would be so. Like I think that'd be great too.
Next up is Best Animation.
Okay.
Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, The God of High School, Great Pretender, Jujutsu Kaisen, Princess Connect Redive, and Beastars. I'll say this: Beastars had the hardest battle from transferring from a manga to an anime just because they chose to do it with 3D.
Yes.
Even it worked pretty well, and I do say they did a great job with the adaptation.
Yes.
But for animation, I would say overall, Keep Your Hands Off Eyes of Ken and Great Pretender would probably be the top two, just because Connect Redive is Cygames Pictures, and that's more of like a, you know, they don't do much. I don't know why this was chosen per se.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a lot of like different things. They have TV Works, Monara and Friends, and Princess Connect Redive, and the only thing they did was Blade Runner Blackout 22. But like that's like they don't have so much inside their thing, you know.
Right. Yeah, I would give it to Great Pretender then. Well, maybe I would give it a B stars. Because here's the thing, I know people are gonna ask, like, why not Jujutsu Kaisen? Well, it's not been around long enough.
No, it's definitely only got like 14 episodes right now.
Yeah.
It's one of those things too where it's like overall it's okay,
It's
but
good.
I'll say compositing and effect wise, it could use a little bit more work.
Yeah, the bit with when they were taken to the Jogo's domain, it looked a little rough. The lava didn't look amazing.
No, it's a style, but it's one of those styles where it's just like overall, it's like okay.
There are certain things like Gojo's domain was really cool.
Yeah.
What they did with that was really neat, and the intros are really super cool. But you know,
because like when you talk about animation, right, you have to factor in multiple things like compositing works, effects works, lighting.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where like it's the overall of what it makes it. So I think best animation would probably be Great Pretender, just because of the amount of work and lighting they went through.
Yeah, I would give it to them.
Because like with Keep Your Hands Eyes of Ken, right? If with dark ones, they'll just like kind of tint everything down, I guess, and then cut certain pieces out that like.
Yeah.
And like just give certain things shading. I do think that Great Pretender was probably, and Beastars probably one of the bigger ones that had the harder battles.
Yeah. And it just felt like sometimes in certain moments in Jujutsu Kaisen, the characters didn't move accurately, or they like didn't really seem to move the way that they should.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think God of High School. God no.
No.
No. It's just like, oh, you want to do a fight scene, maybe, but like overall, you need to think about the overall picture.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. No.
So I think Great Pretender is probably one of the best for this portion.
I would definitely agree.
That or Beastars. It's really hard to pick. So
Beastars is here's the thing. Beastars is like fucking nails it certain moments, but other times I don't know. It works great. It works great all around. The story itself though is underwhelming.
All right, and then this is probably one of the more like, probably the what you call it. It's not like it's the opposite of well known. It's probably more like the unknown category because it's best director.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times you really won't know certain directors just because of like people just coming in and out of the industry constantly. They don't really have like a distinct style yet, unless like you look at like certain people, like not even that. You kind of focus on more on the animators at that point because it's the styles of the animation.
Yeah.
Because you got Takashi who did literally the last part of Dragon Ball for animation, like stylization. He was like the one that kind of like made Super's art style super instead of like plain flat Dragon Ball.
Right.
But the best directors are Masaki Yuasa for Keep Your Hands Off Eyes of Ken, Yuzuru Taichikawa for Decadence, Sung-Hoo Park for Jujutsu Kaisen, Hiro Kaburagi for Great Pretender, Mamoru Hatakeyama for Kaguya Love is War, and Takashi Sono for Tower of God.
I would say, that's tough because Kaguya-sama was, I think, like from a direction standpoint, like they did a great job.
It does a great job of
from what's it called? Bringing the manga to real life and like really nailing the beats that the manga did. I think they did a great job there, and I think the intro was great for it too. Like the tone of it was really well done. Great Pretender, from the style alone, I think that obviously like they did a great job too.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen,
I wouldn't. It's just so young. It just like doesn't deserve anything.
We don't know yet. The first season's not over.
Maybe if this is for like the 2021, maybe just because like it needs to get there. It hasn't gotten to that point yet.
The new arc's definitely gonna pick up though.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But like for best director right now, I would say
like these categories, I would give like if this was like if the full season of Jujutsu Kaisen ended and was like done,
Yeah.
and we got to see the last.
And I'll say with this, like the only things that I would say would probably be the original stuff, just because these are the ones that are original and they have the developed style. Just because
Yeah.
the past these directors have other works that are popular that are original.
Definitely. So I'm gonna either give it to Kaguya-sama or Great Pretender. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Kaguya-sama because they did a great job bringing the manga to anime.
But I'll give my vote for Decadence just because of what it accomplished. Because a lot of times with anime, right, it's like this kind of like cash grab. It's very low production, but for like, I don't think a director is someone who could make a good use of production budgets, and I do think Decadence had that sort of like area to like work with.
I think so. I can certainly hope.
I mean, as well as like Great Pretender and like Keep Your Hands Off As You Can, but like for something that kind of like wasn't sort of hyped up inside the spheres, like Decadence probably did the best job. All right, so best English performance.
I heard ReZero's was really good. So
So we have Zeno Robinson for Hawks, Crispin Freeman for My Boy Grand Assassin, Old Man of the Mountain.
Okay.
Aaron Phillips for Great Pretender as Laurent Thierry, Johnny Yon Bosch as Bam for Tower of God, Jonah Scott as Legoshi, and Anaris Quinones for Echidna.
I gotta give it to
Legoshi. I've seen The Great Pretender inside English just because it's one of those things where it's like it makes sense, just because that's kind of the joke. Like the first episodes, like they literally stop talking in Japanese and like he talks in a really broken English accent or Japanese accent, which is kind of funny in my opinion. But I didn't watch too much except for like Fate, just because I'm a Fate fanboy.
Yeah, I give it to either Fate or Legoshi, but Legoshi.
I think Johnny Young Bosch is a good voice actor. It's just because I don't watch Tower of God. I think that's probably the why in English.
Yeah.
Because one of the things too, where it's like if it's not simuldubbed, no one's gonna watch it. Yeah. If it's not simuldubbed, no one's gonna watch it.
No one's gonna care.
Exactly. Yeah. No one's gonna watch it just because it's already like in the past.
And you're already going uphill because it's a webtoon and no one really knows it as much.
Exactly. It's like it's sort of original, but it's only got like this niche audience.
Yeah. Though we'll say I've been reading a couple new webtoons and they've been pretty good.
All right. So best Japanese voice performance is something I would know more about.
Okay.
So you have Riho Sugiyama for Munere Koda for Wave, Listen to Me. Megumi Ogata for Hanako, Toy Bound Hanako-kun. Yusuke Kobayashi for Natsuki Subaru. Yuichi Nakamura for Satoru Gojo.
Okay.
Mutsumi Tamura for Sayaka Kanamori. And Yusuke Onuki for Daisuke Kanbei for Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited.
This one's kind of tricky because I would think I'd give it to Gojo.
No, it's like he does a really good job of portraying the character.
He does the whimsical nature really well, and he has that sort of like cynical, like very teasing kind of feel with him, and he does do really well. Like the come on, and he just kind of waves his hand. I mean, I'd give it to them because he's really one that I really know that most right now. I would give it to him for now because a lot of people love him, like just from the first couple episodes.
Yeah, so he doesn't. When I watched it, I barely read the manga just because I didn't like really. I was having too much shit to read because I still have Dr. Stone and like all the other Shonen Jump properties that I have to do. It's one of those things where it's like I didn't pick it up when it got popular just because it's not because it's just popular. It's just because I didn't have time for it.
Yeah.
But like I did start like out of all the characters, the first one I would say Gojo, the girl, then the main character, and then the black haired one with the dogs.
There you go. Yeah, you happy now, Jujutsu Kaisen fans? We got one. Just saying. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Yusuke Onoki was really good inside Millionaire Detective. I would say like he does a really good job of like what he does. I'm not sure if I watched Wave Listening to Me, but I did watch all the rest of them, and I have to say, Yusuke Onoki would probably be the best one.
Great. Okay.
All right, so here we go. Best ending sequence.
Oh well.
Lost in Paradise for Jujutsu Kaisen.
And we're done.
The Great Pretender, Freddie Mercury. Night Running, Shin Sakura featuring Amy. DDD by No Name for Dorohedoro. Welcome My Friend Okamoto's for Millionaire Dragon Balance. And Last Dance for Mamoru Miyano.
I gotta give it to Lost in Paradise.
Lost in Paradise is really good.
Like the main reasons why Jujutsu Kaisen have done so well: one, the animation is pretty good overall. Two, Satoru Gojo was really fun, and three, everyone loves the ending.
One of those things that was such a different. It's so different from what it's
so different
worth.
stylization and the tone of the show. It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna end off with a positive note.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's just like I love jazz. I love like the just and you're just like, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think it's
catchy.
overall. I do think Jujutsu Kaisen has a really good opening and ending because I like both Ali and
Have you seen the new ending?
I've seen the new ending. It's okay.
good,
I liked it.
I like the visuals.
Yeah, the
songs
visuals are really good. The songs
are
are okay, but
yeah.
Eve, if you get Eve on any project to do a song, any of his songs, it does well.
Yeah.
All right, then since we did best ending, we do best opening.
Okay.
You have Easy Breezy by Kalamiko for Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken.
Okay.
Kitan for Eve, Jujutsu Kaisen, Wildside, Ali, Beastars, GP Yutaka Yamada for Great Pretender, Daddy Daddy Do for Masaki Suzuki, and Phoenix by Burnout Ninjas for Haikyuu to the Top.
Okay, so the two that I'll
say this though, they're all great songs.
Yes.
It's really hard because and that's why now looking at this, like it's really, really like okay, it's going from like the really hard choices to the really easy ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Beastars, but a close second is definitely Daddy Daddy Do because that song.
I'll say this, I enjoy Masayuki's like overall style of like the sort of like 50 Beach Boys vibe, and that's what I like as a listener. But I do think that Wildside is great for jazz inside and like
it's got the stop motion.
It's
got the great visuals. It's hard to compete when it's like you see all that. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen's opening.
It's great. It's great for composition wise. It's really well done.
Yeah.
It's just but like compared to the other two, it's just like okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to compete.
But those are just music choices.
Yeah.
But like I'll say, I think Beastars probably takes it just because of the stop motion.
Yeah.
Stop motion is really hard to do, and if anyone tries to attempt it, they know. Like Leica Studios, they take like 3 to 4 years to produce like a full film.
Absolutely. You get to do every single minuscule detail, and the fact that they were able to do a full dance number and just like have it. I could go on ad.
I know.
It's like it's hard to. We gotta keep moving, but like it's definitely one of those things. I'm just like it's a no-brainer choice for me, I guess.
All right, and now for the best girl categories.
Okay.
Sayaka Kanamori, Keep Your Hands Eyes of Ken, Chizuru Mizuhara for Rent a Girlfriend, Noi from Dorohedoro, Katarina Claes from My Next Life is a Villainess, Abigail Jones from Great Pretender, and Kaguya Shinomiya for Kaguya Love is War.
Wow, Jujutsu Kaisen wasn't up there.
Yeah,
What's the face?
finally.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I think they did My Girl Mash dirty.
Yeah.
I think Mash Carolite should be on here. What the fuck, Crunchyroll?
Yeah, they fucked you hard. Is that the reason why you hate this fucking thing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but like overall, like they're not bad. It's just that they kind of like they kind of pro STEM. I would say STEM and kind of stir the pot of like why people don't join the anime community just because the fans are trash.
Yeah.
Like. If you hear us talking about this and like this and this, like that's what you're talking about. This is what we're talking about right now. It's like this is why people don't like joining like or want to watch it because it's kind of cringe.
Yeah,
it's like those cringe TikToks that guy posts like, "Oh, you watch My Hero? What, Nani? You haven't read the manga?" I'm like, "Fucking Christ, I hate this."
No, read the manga, bro. Read the manga, bro. It's so fucking.
I do think he does a great job of playing the comedic factor up, but I just hate how right he is.
Yeah, it's such a sad truth. It's like, oh no, because everyone wants you to experience the same thing they did, but it's like you don't understand. Like people have different views than you.
Yeah,
you can't force them to watch something that they don't want to watch.
Checkmate, liberals.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I don't want to get into it, but
but
I give it to Abigail. Why not? Because she seems fun. She pretended she was on fucking
drugs,
crack or whatever. That
Yeah,
was the
she's a
only
scammer.
scene I've seen of her.
Yeah,
and I
that's
instantly fell in love. I was like, that's pretty...
fun. I do think as like a stand partner or a partner, I would choose Noi because she's probably the best.
Yeah,
Just like as a character overall, and she has complete like
big
goals.
girl, big muscles,
Yeah,
big tits, what?
swole. Overall swole.
She can also heal you, which is really neat.
Yeah,
and she's like out of all the characters in Dorohedoro, she's actually one of the nicest, really funny enough. But she will kick your ass if she wants to. That's for sure.
All right. So next category is Best Boy, and the nominees are Kaiman from Dorohedoro, Satoru Gojo, Kun Agero Agnes from Tower of God Legoshi, Anos Volgadad for the Misfits of the Demon Academy, and Shoya Hinata from Haikyuu.
Okay.
Just knowing how this is going to work out, I feel like Haikyuu is going to win just because it's Haikyuu.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Haikyuu, like, the fucking females of that fandom are just insane. It's just weird. I guarantee Hinata's going to win.
Okay.
Because the amount of times I saw Hinata trending on fucking Twitter, I was like, yeah, those people are definitely voting inside these awards right now, and they're voting for Hinata.
I don't know, man. Satoru Gojo is pretty fucking hot. I will admit that.
Well, this is, overall Best Boy, though. I don't think Kaiman does anything.
No.
Legoshi is pretty good. Legoshi is pretty good.
Top tier. He is so close. I would give it Legoshi. Yeah,
I would say the Black Sheep, I would say Goju, but second place Legoshi, and top place would probably Hinata.
Satoru Gojo is like one of the best like teachers to have for one, but because he just gives you stuff.
He's like the powerful Kakashi mixed with Might Guy.
Yeah.
I think Kaiman is like okay,
and the whimsical nature of Jiraiya.
Yeah, but I think Kun is just falls flat on his face because no one watched it.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think anyone watched that show just because they probably already hate the characters and a lot of people hated the ending. People hated the portrayal. I'm like, yeah, this is why I know what I like, and this is garbage trash. So
yep.
All right, so I guess best antagonist is the next one. We have Ein from Dorohedoro, Roman Sakuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, Rachel from Tower of God, Akira Soma from Fruits Basket, Echidna from ReZero, and Overhaul from My Hero.
Why didn't they choose Mahito? Why the fuck did you not choose
Why would
Mahito?
you choose Sukuna? The person who literally sits inside the fucking body of a teenager and does nothing. He's not a real antagonist. He's more of like a hindrance.
He's a force of nature. He is the main antagonist, technically speaking, but he's not prevalent in the beginning. Later on, he's a lot more prevalent, but right now, you would absolutely do Mahito. Mahito's arguably the best villain in the entire series. He absolutely is. He's the best.
I think Ein overall has probably the best motives.
Yeah.
But like in the end of the game, in the manga, right? He wasn't the real villain at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say anything about that. So I do think he's a really good antagonist, but I don't think he's like the best. Like he's not the head honcho.
He's more depending on like if you're working for him, he's really nice.
Exactly. He's a mob boss. He treats people fairly enough. If you treat him right.
I mean that whole thing with what's her face, like that thing he did to her was
Ebisu?
Ebisu when he like forced the contract. That was kind of fucked. But...
Oh no, that's the other girl. That's a Bond one, the one who gives you time.
Yeah, like that's kind of fucked. But everything like otherwise was like. Yeah,
he has a goal. Like if his backstory was true enough, like it's pretty.
He's not like Sukuna, where he's just like he's malicious in everything he does. But like with Sukuna, it's like he's just not there enough. He's just like he's hanging in the background. He's a dick, obviously. He is the final boss. Like don't get that twisted. But he's just not like compared to Mahito and other characters on this list. He's just like he's not the forefront. If he was, then he would totally be on the top because he's definitely charming and he's definitely like engaging as a villain. But I would give it to, who was the other ones? I forget.
You have Akira Soma from Fruits Basket Season 2, Rachel, Tower of God, and Echidna, and Overhaul.
Okay.
I'll say Overhaul as an antagonist. He was kind of getting played in the first place, so like I can't really give it to he had his own idea. He had his own goals, which I admire, but like it kind of fell flat at the end.
Yeah, and then Rachel she's a grade A bitch.
She's a bitch. I cannot.
I guess gotta give it to Sukuna because he's the only one that's a genuine good villain.
This actually doesn't like have any good in him or like is swayed at all.
They want what they did. They were gonna choose Mahito, but they're like, we got to make this a little bit fair for the other ones.
Yeah,
so that's why they switched Sukuna in. But yeah, no, I would say Sukuna.
Yeah, I do think Sukuna is probably the best.
Because Rachel's like, she's a bitch. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
But I don't think she's not the main villain though, is she?
No, she isn't. She's just like, it's weird. They kind of put her as that, but there's other bigger forces at work that are fucking up everything else.
Exactly. It's like there's more of a God hand scenario, and like the main antagonist is sort of.
You can tell she's gonna be like the final obstacle kind of.
But like, yeah.
Or maybe not. I have no idea
the kid's probably gonna stab her and be done with her. Be like, I'm
just
not a simp
cap
anymore.
Her in the head.
No more
down.
simps.
Yeah. Or just like send her back to the beginning.
I know.
Good luck, asshole.
Kicks you off the tower.
Yeah. Later.
Okay, so best protagonist. We have Natsumi from Decadence, Katarina from My Next Life as Villainess, Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, Anos Voldegode for Demon King, Midori Asakusa for Keep Your Hands Eyes on Ken, and Shoyo Hinata as Haikyuu.
And this is for best protagonist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Natsumi, Midori, and Hinata are easily top 3.
Yeah. Yuji's good, but he's still early.
It's too young. He doesn't like get to like the best protagonist later on.
Yes, later on, you guys will see. But like right now, I wouldn't say. I would give it to Hinata.
Honestly, he's kind of the worst friend, to be honest, because like he kind of fucking screwed over his friends. Not gonna lie.
Who? Yuji? Where they didn't tell him the truth, or
yeah, pretty much. He didn't tell me.
Well, he kind of needed to, because like if the higher ups found out, they'd immediately try to kill him. So I guess that's how it works. But I mean, yeah.
Anos is not like he's a bad guy, but he's not the bad guy. You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah. But I'd still give it a little bit more time. He's definitely gonna be up there. I mean, if
I think
God,
yeah,
the newest chapter is so fucking nuts.
What's
going on right now? My big brother. I'm like, what? What? And
then Ice Girl pops out. I'm like,
she's OP as shit.
I know. It's like cool, neat, interesting.
And she's like, well,
yeah. I do think Natsumi is pretty good because like she goes through hardships and like she overcomes them. Midori Asakusa has like very good like doing the animation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hinata, be the best, I guess, at the volleyball.
Give it to the fucking orange haired kid. Whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna vote for. I mean, Natsumi has orange hair, but like,
give it to volleyball boy. Just pass him it. It's fine. Let him spike it.
Yeah, we know he's gonna win that fucking category.
He spikes the award.
But overall, anime of the year.
Okay.
Keep Your Hands Off Azoken, Jujutsu Kaisen, Great Pretender, Dorohedoro, Apara Ranman, and Beastars.
Well, it's not Jujutsu Kaisen, unfortunately.
Dorohedoro is not anime of the year.
Get that shit out of here.
It's studio. They're both Studio Mappa. It's just like do so different like works. It doesn't feel consistent at all.
Mappa is fine. I mean, the Dorohedoro is like, it's just too nuts. I can't even with the Dorohedoro. Just scooch that out of the way. Jujutsu Kaisen, give it next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I think 2021 is the year of Jujutsu Kaisen, but we'll see.
And then for the two that is Great Pretender and Beastars, like right now. Those are the two that I'm
I'll say Great Pretender or Keep Your Hands. Because Apara man got fucked over by the scheduling and COVID. Mm-hmm. Just because they had to delay scheduling and stuff and release schedule just because no one could work. Beastars, I'd say it's probably the anime of the year.
It's because the visuals alone, everything that came together. With
overall complexity and just like the overall composition wise, I think Beastars probably.
It feels almost more human than most of the shows that based on humans.
Yeah,
it's kind of nuts. And
I did enjoy Keep Your Hands Off Azoken. I'll preface with that. Yeah. Like it's a really good show, but I think it only caters to people who like the director, and 2, the sort of story of like being your own. Like doing like your own kind of like animation studio and learning about animation, which I enjoy, but like it's not for everyone.
And I'm sure if I saw Great Pretender, I would, it would be a very different discussion. But once again, haven't seen it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, and plus, Beastars is just A class. It's so good. So yeah, I give it to Beastars. These are our totally 100% factual opinions. If you disagree with this, you are wrong.
You're wrong,
and you should feel bad. That's exactly it. Don't ever have an opinion.
What was last year? So like 2020, Anime of the Year, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba.
I give it to that.
Okay, I'll say this.
What were the other ones? The other nominees?
I don't. It doesn't say.
Yeah,
it just gives you the awards.
Who cares? give it to
Best protagonist is Dr. Stone for Senku.
Yeah.
Best couple is Kaguya and Miyuki from Kaguya Love is War Season 1. Antagonist is Bella in Promised Neverland. Okay. Yeah, best VA performance in Japanese, Yuichi Nakamura for Bruno Bucciarati in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind.
Yeah. There were some really heated there was some really tough competition that year. I would say, like, it was pretty crazy. This year was kind of, well, Beastars and Great Pretender was fine, but yeah, there wasn't really as much like crazy.
Yeah, Mob Psycho did a lot. Kaguya did a lot. Yeah, Demon Slayer fucking swept.
Yeah,
that swept. What about 2019?
Of course it would. Did the movie come out in the States yet? I saw the
no.
dub.
It's coming out. It's being dubbed right now, but it did come out in Japan.
Okay.
So yeah.
Eventually, we'll watch it. And apparently, it's like the number one in Japan, like overall sales wise.
I do think it's kind of bloated. Not Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I do think in that year there wasn't so much going on. It's just like it kind of like this anime that is pretty good did exceptionally well just because of the lower stature of everything else.
Well, one thing, yeah, was the style, obviously. Two is that it's just people connected with it a bit more, I guess, because it's like a simpler story. But yeah, it definitely was like everyone freaked out at episode 19. Was like, this is the best shit ever.
I know.
Oh my god! And I'm like, well, it's great. I mean, it's good.
It's good. It's just like.
Guys,
there's other things that came out that are kind of better than this. That's not me. And
yeah.
I kind of hate that like we're saying this because we're not hipsters.
No, and I definitely love Demon Slayer. Like the stuff that they'll get to eventually. I can't wait to see what they do for it. But I'm just like, well, why don't we just wait till the whole thing comes out before saying it's the best
shit
anime ever? Because there are plenty of series that started off great, but ended off shit. I'm not saying Demon Slayer is going to be like that. I've read it. I know what happens. It's going to do even better. But I'm just saying, there are plenty of series that overall are way better right now than the first season of Demon Slayer. Just plenty of classics that
Mob Psycho 2 came out. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Jesus.
no, dude. I mean, come on. Let's be reasonable here, people. And I'm sure people are gonna similar say like, "Oh my god, once the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen ends, they're gonna be like, oh my god, it's the
so
best.
Good. Oh my god, Becky, like
it's the best fucking thing ever.
Look at his eyes, Becky.
I want Sakuna inside me.
Jesus Christ.
Give me those fingers. Whoa,
Ooh,
Becky. Whoa.
Becky, calm down.
Becky, chill the fuck
it's a crackhead,
out.
Becky.
Becky wants some fingers. All right, no. But no, seriously. It's just, we just wait, be patient, watch the show,
calm yourself.
Enjoy it. Don't say anything that's annoying. And just kind of enjoy it for what it is. And obviously people won't, but it certainly just won't. Just want to say it now before everything goes nuts.
But what else is like on currently that I know? They announced like on for the special FGO 2021 New Year's stuff.
Okay.
They announced that they're doing a Carnival Phantasm version of FGO. So
nice.
We'll watch that when it comes out in like middle of the year in summer.
There you go.
But Laid Back Camp season 2 came out.
Okay.
Oh, Suddenly Egyptian Gods though. You enjoy that.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was fun.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Horimiya, which is a really sweet rom-com. That's what I enjoy. That's my guilty pleasure. But one thing I'll say for probably best anime of the year, probably for 2021 right now, is Wonder Egg Priority.
I haven't seen it.
It's really good compositing, and like it's done by it's not done by Kyoto Animation, I think. It's done by another studio, but it feels like a
That's one thing is like I feel like it's like
it's Cloverworks. That's what it is. It's Cloverworks.
Okay.
Then they did a bunch of jobs for
right.
Cloverworks is the one that does a lot for a lot of stuff. I think they did Rascals. Does not Dream of Bunny Girl. Yeah, they did the Fate Grand Order. That's right. That's why I liked it. Promise Neverland.
Yeah.
That's why they did. They Fairy Tail, Ace Attorney season 2. Yeah, and they're they're actually doing Horror Mia too. So,
Huh.
which is pretty good. I think that this is the studio that's gonna do it. But knowing Western anime fans, they'll be like, oh, Studio Mappa did so much. Like, you realize that they're probably using their animators like as workhorses right now and doing a lot because they have the Chainsaw Man coming out. And see how fucking they have to finish up Attack on Titan. People are gonna be pissed about the ending anyway. I'm just waiting for the dumpster fire to start.
Yeah. It is what it is. I still haven't read the ending of it, but whatever.
But Show by Rock, another popular series, music genre series, is back again for like the crossover shit. Quintessential Quintuplets is back on with season 2. I think it's only got 2 episodes right now. But one of the other things that I saw online was a something called Idols, Idol Survival. I was just like, I looked at it. I was like, it's a 3D animated series,
What?
but it looks mocapped.
What?
It looks like it's motion capture just based on the dancing and the way things move. They're like using an in-game physics engine to like make hair move and like all that kind of stuff. I'll show you things after the podcast, but like it's one of those things like this is like really bad, but the technology wise is really good.
It's really advanced.
It's really well done technology wise, and I do like it. It's very similar to like the stuff that HoloLive uses for like their 3D streams.
Okay.
Which I think Shiro Botan kind of did.
Watching so many clips of that, it's just like what.
It's weird because like it's like the 3D models are pretty well done and really original for the 2D, and I'm just like, Christ, like overall they do a really well job for like probably the size of our like. Probably bigger than my room over here, and like for 3D production work for mocap, it's just like it's really well done.
You want to be a VTuber, Davis? You want?
Oh, I already am a VTuber, Charlie.
Oh, oh,
yeah.
That's right.
I open up Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can I be a raptor? Could be like that one guy on I keep seeing this one fucking Japanese YouTuber who's like a raptor. I'm like, that's the sickest shit. But at the same time, I can't really register what you're feeling.
I know.
you're not a human.
Exactly.
Whatever. All I can see is like his jaw going
Well, that's what I've been doing my pastime too. I've been opening up cards, doing reviews of stuff. I have to review how I store all my fucking cards because I have over about 1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Jesus.
And that's about the size of both of us, our height combined. If you stack them up to the ceiling. Just the amount of Yu-Gi-Oh cards I have. And I also have a ton of Pokemon cards. So like if you stack those up, like that's the big box on top is Pokemon cards.
Serviceable.
And that's already half full. And like Yu-Gi-Oh taking up the second, the larger one down there, and that's already like half full.
My God.
I need better storage stuff. I need to offload some stuff too.
Yeah.
Because like I do offload some stuff for like certain things. Mm-hmm. Like card wise, because with Pokemon I only keep like at least like 3 cards, 3 of each card, because I don't need 4.
I mean, you could use a space under your bed.
Well, I do already. I do use space underneath my bed for like the pull-out drawer.
Okay.
And it also has my keyboard for music production.
Okay.
Forgot about that. I do music production too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at you. Yeah. No,
Check out my mixtape, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, could do some hanging stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think I need some bookshelves.
You could do it. You could have it like so it's sideways, and you could just kind of like.
That's what I'm saying. I need a bigger bookshelf than like what I have right now.
Yeah, just like have the bookshelf be like that, and just kind of maybe.
Because all this over here is kind of like junk I need to throw out.
Yeah.
I have deck boxes over here.
My mom's doing a lot of selling these days. She's trying to do this thing now where she's selling something every week, and I'm like, that's ambitious of you, and I do feel like I'm very proud of you that trying to do this. But at the same time, you have to deal with people on the fucking internet, so have fun with that.
It was using Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, she used Facebook Marketplace first, and that kind of went okay. But the people they bought something from us were like, oh, it was a little too small. Do you know who else we could sell to? And she's like, what the fuck? No. It sucks to suck.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, whatever. So, she's trying to get stuff out of the house, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Meanwhile, I just buy an airsoft gun because there's these fucking squirrels outside of our house that are really pissing me off.
You should just get a feeder and like put it out there, and then
there's a squirrel, I'm not shitting you, Davis, with a full piece of pizza in its mouth. I've seen it 3 times.
Where the fuck is he getting the pizza from?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
That's what. And I asked my dad, I'm like, do you think it's the same piece of pizza, or is it just like he just keeps coming from somewhere with a new piece every day? And he's like, I don't know, but I'd love to find out. And it's the biggest quandary I've ever had in my life. I mean, obviously I've had smaller Well, I obviously have other quandaries, but this one has been the most entertaining.
Yeah.
Other stuff that I've been doing.
We should animate that and just be like, yeah, it's just
What are you, Pete
squirrel.mp4.
Yeah, Baba the pizza.
It's like, what is it doing?
Chestnut the pizza. Get the nuts.
Yeah.
But I apologize to all the Italians. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. They don't mind.
Okay.
They're not a minority.
Fair. Okay. What else? I've been reading a lot of bios for League because I've been trying to just like in depth myself in the world. So I was like, I'll just read the bios.
No, don't bother. Don't bother. It's a death trap. It's a social anxiety attack right there.
Well, no, I've just been reading because like every morning I just kind of read like one or two every day, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But like all the characters are just kind of like, oh, he's from a rough and tumble neighborhood, and I'm like, okay, similar stuff. But no, it's all pretty interesting. I definitely find the world to be fun, kind of. I'm never gonna play the game though. No one will ever make me play that fucking game. But I definitely might try out the RPG that's coming out.
The one with the pirate lady.
Yeah, with Miss Fortune, which I found out like in her bio I just read today. It was like, oh, they've claimed that she brings misfortune wherever she goes. I was like, oh, little play on words there. I see. Ha ha ha. Fucking great. Slow clap for you.
Yeah.
Mr.
Clap,
Mr. English major over here. Great job. But yeah, no, that's a weird thing I've been doing nowadays. Like, I'll just read a bio every day. It's interesting. I like world building and shit. So that's why I love Warhammer too, because there's so much fucking lore.
Oh yeah, I texted you this about the other night, right? The Fate D&D thing.
Yeah.
I
would love to do terrain for shit in that too. Like we could just have like a whole mat,
an island thing.
Yeah, that'd be kind
of fun. I'll definitely do that though. I'll definitely.
Yeah.
Try to create a campaign around that because like
I have a D&D set if you need it. Like,
no, because my way of thinking about that, right, is because you only could have like 7 masters inside the game, right? So playing it wise, if it's just you and me, I probably the DM, and then you probably be the one master. You probably roll for whatever serving 1 to 7 on an RNG thing, and then
I'll probably get Shakespeare.
You could, and you have to and I'll give you the list of like powers he has, and like this is the only thing you could do with him.
Yeah, it would probably go south real quick, but we'll see. I fucking pull.
It'd be like a gotcha thing.
Yeah, I fucking pull Gilgamesh, and I'm like, yes.
You get Gilgamesh Archer kid form.
Yeah, I'm like, I win. Or I remember I texted you. You're texting like, what do you think about a D&D game? I'm like, okay, and be like, DM's like, oh no, you protect my goblins. Me who just summoned Hercules. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a fun thing to think about because it has to revolve around a mana system anyway.
Yeah.
Because like you're playing as a summer class pretty much, so like you have a limited amount of mana to summon your hero, I guess, at that during certain points of the game.
My idea would be if I ever summon someone as big as Hercules, I just get like a little baby strap thing, strap myself to Hercules, and be like, all right,
Let's go,
Berserker,
forward.
Yeah, onward.
That'd be funny.
Have a little baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be like Cucullin from that the thing you showed me before, the Fate series one where there's like a daily life thing.
Yeah, the Carnival Phantasm.
Like
Berserker's fucking slinging Lancer around. I was just like, I remember this is fucking hilarious. All right, but on that note, I think we're good for today.
All right.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and have a good one.
Bye.
Goodbye.
My butt hurts.
Dude, my back is on fuego.